Of all the creatures that God gave us, they have a use, and our people know how to use them. And as elders, it's our responsibility to pass that knowledge on. Chokma, sao chifuat Wayne Edgar, Chickasaw. Hello, my name's Wayne Edgar, and I am a Chickasaw elder. And today, we're going to walk through the construction of a wing-bone turkey call. It's an ancient art that our people have used since before recorded time. The Chickasaw people are and have always been very resourceful and very adaptive. Now, what we are going to look at today is how we use some of the resources that are all around us. Resources that Abba Benile, which is, you would say, God, has given us to make us better people, stronger people, and more able to live with the land. The land is very important, and the wild turkey is a very important part of the land. Well, if you're going to make anything from a wild turkey, then what you must do is first, you've got to harvest a wild turkey. Understand that our people didn't have shotguns. In the past, we didn't have those weapons. We had to harvest a wild turkey with a throwing stick or a bow and arrow, the tools that we had. But it had to be done. Today, if you're going to make these, there are many laws and regulations and only a short season a year when you can actually do it. You can't make this call from a tame turkey. A butterball never has an opportunity to use its wings. So the wing bones are small and not well formed, and they won't make a good call. Once we've got all the meat from the wild turkey and we've thanked Abba Benile, our word is Anumpil Bashan Sithanchi, which means our prayers. And we send our prayers up to Abba Benile Inkima, to God. And we thank Him for sharing this creature because we understand that the same God that made me made the wild turkey. And we take that wing and you salvage the meat, and then you boil it and then boil it some more until it gets, the cartilage begins to soften. And then you can take that, once that cartilage has begun to soften, and you can take the backside of a blade and you scrape it. Now you're going to get as much of the fat off of it as you can. You're going to get everything but bone, okay? Then you've got 3 bones. You've got the drumstick, and then you've got these 2 bones that make the little piece of the wing that's got 2 bones. I'm gonna take these 3 bones, and then I like to bleach them. One thing the bleaching does is sanitizes the bone. The other thing the bleaching does is it gives it a good base, clean base to accept the dye if you're gonna color the bone. I can't use that bone. And so I'm gonna slice this bone, and I use an ancient Chickasaw tool called a bandsaw, okay, to slice this bone. Now, we used to do it with hair. You made a bow drill with hair, coarse hair, okay? The hair from the buffalo's mane was a good one. And you put that on there and you go like this, and eventually you wear through it. And today, in about 2 seconds, I can do it with a bandsaw. So I digress to do that. I'm gonna slice that, and it's gonna look like this. Now, I'm gonna save this to make buttons. I slice this and make beautiful beads out of this because it has this mesh on the inside that looks like lace. It's gorgeous. But for the call, I'm gonna come up with this. We didn't throw away anything. We used it all. That's God's creature, and all of it's useful. Now, it's got problems. It's boiled, it's bleached, it's sawed, but it's full of mesh. And now I have to get that out. And so I'm going to spend a good bit of time cleaning it with a piece of metal. I like a small round file because it's quicker. And sometimes you do that and this piece won't go in. So we do some more of this, okay? Until we get this where the larger of the double bones will slide down in it. This gives us a resonance chamber and a wind chamber. And if they don't mesh, I'll use this. This is called a mono. It's a stone that we used to use to grind grain. And today, I use it in order to bevel the sawed corners on that bone. And I feel it with my tongue. And it will tell me, my tongue will tell me when I've got it right. That's good. Then I'll slide it down in there. I want the sound to leave that smoothly. I don't want it to come back around, okay? I'll do this bone the same way. We're gonna do this again. Now with this one, I go very small, and I take the webbing with this, and then I do the same thing to adapt it. Now the bone will have a larger end and a smaller end. I'm gonna take that smaller end and I'm gonna insert it because I want the biggest opening for the hole for the air that I'm going to use through it, okay? And then we look and see what it's gonna sound like. Every wing makes its own music, and some of them are not good, okay? Some of them are just no good. And some of them, they're good. Some, they're very good. I call this the hunter's version, okay? I carry this in my pouch. When I'm turkey hunting, I carry that in my pouch, okay? I don't carry that. It's too pretty, too fragile, okay? And I'm gonna tune it a little bit and say, do this need to be longer because that doesn't sound too good. That's better. That's an old hen, okay? Now if I want to see if I want to get a little sharper. Okay, I kind of like that spot. Now, once I get that spot, okay, then I mark that spot. If I'm making traditional one, I'll use boiled hide glue. I'll take the epidermis from a deer skin like this one, and I'll boil it to a paste. And then I'll build the paste on the outside of this, and I'll slip it in there until it cools, and it'll cement it in place. Okay, that's what we used to use. Today, if you want one that works in all weather, wet or dry, okay, you're gonna use a hot glue gun. Well, let's say I like this one. It's not tuned yet, still has kind of a funny sound, but I like it, let's say. I'm going to cut bodark, B-O-I-S-D-A-R-C. This is the wood we make our bows out of. And I'll take my old cleaver, and I'm gonna set that cleaver blade right there, okay? And then I'm gonna take a billet, pow, okay? And I'm gonna split it off in chunks. And I'm gonna split that bark off with my cleaver, pow, pow. And I'm gonna take these chunks and I'm gonna boil that bodark. There are 2 more plants I put in there, but bodark is the essential ingredient. And then I'm going to take it down to that dark, dark brown liquid. Now, once I've done that, and I've got it stained, and I've got it put together, Then I'm going to assemble it. And now, to make it easier to hold and carry, I'm going to wrap this in deer skin. This wrap is not glued, and it has no fixative. The hide has two sides. It has this rough side that was to the inside of the deer. Then it has the outside where the hair was scraped off. When I begin the wrap, I'm going to put the slick side down. I'm going to put tension on it. I'm going to wrap it over itself. And I'm going to overlap it and pull it as I go. That gives a Velcro action by putting the outside against the inside, and always the inside is on the outside. And then there's a special knot that you use to tie that on there, and once you pull that knot tight, okay, then once that knot is pulled tight, then it won't slip. I'm gonna pull that knot tight. But a long time ago, my grandmothers used to say, if you do this right, you don't have to glue. I would like to say that what I know, I owe to my elders. My great-grandmother, Katie James, born in 1872. She died when I was a junior in high school, and she passed so much to me. My grandmothers did, and all those wonderful elders that surrounded me as a child. And one of the things they taught me was how to harvest wild turkey and make many things from the turkey itself. As an elder, I am very happy to teach these things. And when I speak, my grandmothers live. They live through me. They live through my children, and they will live through my children's children. Because their ways, some of them, lives through all of us.